What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Tyler 444 Sports, episode number 13 of Athlete Interviews, where I interview high school / college athletes. I apologize for taking a couple weeks off. I've been so focused on Deerfield High School basketball because they were going on the way to the state championship, but unfortunately lost. But we're not talking about basketball today. We're talking about football, and we are going to Page High School. Meet Grant Pittman from the Page High School football team. Say what's up.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
All right. Hopefully, I think everybody's doing good, but yeah. This is a football team, and your football team has had a lot of success this season. You guys have been state champions, and state caliber football teams, they're always really good. They're always very good with their offense, their defense, and their special teams and everything like that. So you ended up as one of the top football teams in the state this year, and you had an undefeated record, 14-0, and of course you were state champion. So what was it like being a top football team in the state all season long?
Oh no, man, it's a lot of work. I mean, coaches were pushing us all week. I mean, personally, I was kind of more of a bench warmer, sophomore, so I didn't really get to experience a lot of it on the field, but just like practices, man, it was like everybody had to work, running was crazy. I don't know, man, just the coaches pushed us. It was like, just a push for perfection. It was kind of like everybody holding each other accountable. So yeah, that's all I can really say on that.
I like it how you always say that your coaches push you, and I think that's what sets the bar high for a team, and the coaches are setting the bar high for you. They're pushing you to greatness, they're pushing you to success, they're pushing you to commit, and that sounds really fun, and that sounds really nice, and that's why you guys were a very good football team this year, pushing you to be better.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of like, it had to be perfect. Like every drill in practice, I mean, it was just over and over and over again until we got it right. Like I remember like a lot of times like during offensive walkthroughs and stuff like that, it was like, bro, we'd keep running the same play like over and over and over again until everything was perfect. So, really the coaches, it was striving just for being perfect in everything we do. And they put a lot of emphasis, especially on the little things. Like that was a big thing in like the weight room over the summer was like, we got to get the little things right. Like they make us like clean up the racks and get everything like in a specific order before we leave. So they just think like it's all the little details. Everything's got to be perfect, or that's how you achieve perfection as a team. Is every single play, everything's got to be perfect. So that was a big thing that they pushed for. And also, it wasn't just the coaches, man. The senior leadership on the team was great. They were also just pushing us to perfection. That was the big thing on our team was everything's got to be perfect. So obviously we achieved the goal, and perfect season.
Perfect season. That sounds like a great feeling to achieve that goal. And like you said, you were a bench warmer. How was that?
Well, I try to get on scout when I can. I feel like I was able to do pretty well on scout throughout the season. But, even as that, just like all the guys, it's so connected. Like even still, just like as a bench warmer, those guys, they still care about you. They still want to see you succeed. They're still like pushing you to the same level of excellence that even the starters are. So, gosh, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. It's just like, yeah, that's all I can really say about it. Is they're pushing you to the same level that they are, and everybody's got to do the same stuff. And like on scout and stuff, it's important because you're trying to give those guys a look. So, even still as a bench warmer, I still felt like a deep sense of connection with those guys, and feel like I still contributed a lot, like in terms of like practice and stuff.
Yeah, of course. There you go. Pushing yourself to greatness, especially in football. It's one of the most toughest sports, and it's so hard to win a state championship in football, especially when you have to be the underdogs, which I think a couple times you were this season.
Not exactly. I think there was maybe like one, maybe two games were really actually I think we were the favorites for pretty much the whole season. Even when we played some higher division teams, we're class 5A. We played a couple 6A teams over the course of the year, but I'm pretty sure we were still favored in those games. We were able to take care of them pretty easily. I mean, there was maybe like two games that we were like really had a bit of a scare, or three games. It was Nolensville, Indy, and Beach. Or no, yeah, Nolensville, Indy, Beach, and then Sevier. Those are the 4 teams that really kind of gave us a scare. But I mean, we played a couple of higher division teams, and we were able to take care of them pretty easily. So I feel like we were kind of favorites all year.
Well, there you go. Well, success is not given, and there's no elevator to success. You always have to take the stairs, and that goes for any game. You just got to be prepared for every single opponent every week for 14 weeks, and that's how you win a state championship.
Yeah, that was kind of our mentality, like going into those games was, you know, even though we were always the favorite, it was kind of like, don't play down to your competition. Like, we're not just aiming to kind of like, this is never going to be just a game that we're just going to breeze through. Like, we were always out there, even if we were like heavy favorites or something. Our goal was we're going to dominate. We're going to, you know, even if it's a bad team, we're going to play this the same way that we would play like a playoff game or the state championship. That was kind of our mindset going into all those games.
Well, yeah, there you go. There you go. Play for a state championship. You dream about it, and now you're living the dream. And
yes, sir.
I wanted to ask, what was it like to prepare usually for game day before, during, after, and especially for the state championship game? What was that like?
So practices were kind of like, we had 2 days in the middle with like half pads on, you know, stuff like that. And then there would be like lifting and film on Monday. Just a lot of film. Those coaches, they kind of trusted us a lot with the film. It was kind of a lot of, you know, they gave us film days, of course, on like Mondays, but, you know, they also trust us like to be like, hey, you got to go home, watch this film yourself. And, you know, especially if, like for state, like that was the kind of thing, just like everything's got to be perfect. Like when we were throwing in like new schemes and stuff for a game this week, it was just run it over and over and over again because it has to be perfect, you know, especially like during state. I mean, there was this kid on Sevier, number 0. I don't remember what his name was, but like in practice, we had to like make sure we had a guy out there on scout that was simulating 0 because we couldn't just throw out like our normal scout team because 0 is like this little kind of shifty kid that we knew was going to get a lot of targets. So we had to make sure we had like specific guys there to simulate it. So it was all like, you know, get their film, break it down. What are these guys' tendencies, and then how can we like attack them? That was like always the focus of the week, was how do we attack kind of the tendencies of what the other team is doing.
Wow, yeah. That pretty much explains film, like breaking it down. You know, watching film always helps, and that's especially before a game. You know, watching film always helps, and then you execute during the game. What was it like after to execute and to win the state championship?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it still like does not feel real. Like winning the state championship, you know, afterwards. I mean, I was just like running around on the field for like 5 minutes. It was like crazy, but you know, just that feeling of like, you know, it was the first in school history. And this was a year a lot of people were definitely kind of down on us. Like I said that we weren't the underdogs because, you know, but this is definitely a year people were expecting a little bit less from us. We had a lot of guys, like really good players, leave the year before. Like, you know, we had dudes like Eric Hazard, Brendan Ains was another big guy. Those kinds of dudes, they left. And so people were like, yeah, they might take a step down this year. But, you know, just to finally be the team to get one, bring it home to Rudderville for, you know, first in school history, it was just a great feeling. And I remember just running around, like screaming my head off so much. I remember between like pictures, they were like taking team pictures. I would have to like get down on one knee because I was just like nauseous. It was just insane in the moment. Goodness. But I mean, it was an unreal feeling. I can't even do it justice with words. It's pretty indescribable.
That's pretty unbelievable. Like my next question I was about to ask, when the final whistle blew, what was it like? You were just running around the field, hugging, screaming, crying. Everybody's going nuts. The whole
no. So, yeah, it was a 1-score game. They threw up a Hail Mary at the end of the game, and we had worked it this week. This is another thing. Like, we knew this game might come down to a Hail Mary. So one of our big things of the week is we need to put in a prevent defense. So we threw like 3 of our like biggest receivers out there, and yeah, I saw the ball go up, and I mean, I saw all my teammates start running out on the field, but I remember vividly, like, I looked up at the Jumbotron. I just, like, had to make sure. I mean, I knew it was over, but, I mean, just had to double check, like, oh, my gosh, it's actually over. Like, this is real. We just won the state championship. It was just unreal. That final whistle blew. I mean, I again can't describe it. I can't do it justice with words. Like
Wow.
it's unbelievable.
Wow. Probably the post-game festivities were probably insane, right? Probably
Oh
just
yeah, there was
aftermath.
there was definitely some crazy stuff going on in the locker room. It was like unbelievable. Yeah, just like playing music, like jumping around, like dancing stuff in the locker room was pretty awesome.
Probably on the bus too, right?
Yeah, well, actually, a funny story. A lot of guys just went home with like their parents or just by themselves or something. It was literally
Wow.
like me and like two other kids on the bus. It was kind of funny. I was like, I thought there was gonna be like a packed bus on the way home. We are gonna have a great time. I was like, oh, it's just like me and like two other people here. But
I don't get it. I mean, your school, your football team has certain policies, but I mean that's pretty unbelievable. Everybody decides to just like go home to their homes.
yeah, I was pretty shocked. I thought everybody wouldn't ride home with the team, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is, but you guys still had a really fun time. I mean, I'm actually not kidding on this one, but my high school's basketball team that I worked for, they got second place in state, but they almost had first. So imagine coming up back to school if they would have won that game 3 hours, how excited they would have been.
Yeah, I mean, we got back to school, and I mean, again, personally, I didn't get a lot for it, because again, bench warmer, but like, it was kind of a crazy reaction. I mean, we had a basketball game pretty soon afterwards where they had us go out there on the court, get recognized. And I mean, we like held like the trophy up in center, like the middle of the court, stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, the reaction for the school was pretty neat. I mean, again, first in school history, I don't know if you knew this going in, but it was our 5th year in a row making the game. So we had lost the previous 4 years.
Wow.
In a row. Yeah, we had. So, I mean, it was just becoming a familiar feeling at that point to just get there and then lose. I mean, again, 4 years in a row is just crazy. But then we made it back a 5th year in a row, and we finally got it done. So, yeah, I feel like that definitely made it like more special to like after all of those years of heartbreak to like finally be the team that got it done. So yeah, that was pretty neat.
Well, there you go. You got to finally get it done. You got to get it done eventually. It's not over till it's over.
Yes, sir.
Not over till it's over. And I'm glad you guys had a thrilling experience at the state championship game. And that's just pretty amazing. Hopefully my high school's football team can win a state championship or go far in the playoffs. And I think that would be pretty cool because we only have our state only has 5 football rounds to get through during the playoffs, which would be first round, second round, quarterfinals, semifinals, and state.
Yeah, same for us.
It's 5 games, but they're hard games. As you progress through the playoffs, it's gonna get harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. I mean, our progression through the playoffs was, the same thing. Like we've definitely faced a bunch of adversity. Like there was right before state championship, our semifinal game, I'm pretty sure. No, it was our quarterfinal game. There was a fight, and we like almost had they were about to suspend like 3 or 4 of our best players, and that would have gone into the championship game, and that was definitely a big scare for us. So, throughout the playoffs, obviously there was just more and more adversity, and the practices definitely got more difficult. And so you're absolutely right.
You just got to put in more of the work, but you also got to make sure that you don't trash talk, you don't start anything. I mean,
he didn't start it. It was somebody on the other team that was pretty mad because we closed it out. We had like an interception to seal it, and somebody on their team got pissed off. But
you got to make sure that you just kind of stay away from that. You just got to focus on the positive. The game is a game. Show good sportsmanship no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now on to my last question. Because you are only a sophomore, you're only a bench warmer. on varsity. What's your future goals for the football team next year? And do you plan to hopefully hype the team up to win a state championship next year?
Well, yeah, I mean, you make it 5 years in a row, that becomes your goal every year is to go and win state. So, rising junior, I'm hoping to get a little bit more playing time this year. I mean, at least on like special teams or something. But, in the weight room, I mean, I thought the senior leadership was good like last year, but this year, I mean, it has taken such a big step forward in the weight room and stuff like that. Like, it's just crazy. So, again, it was kind of the same story that we had going into last season, where it was like, okay, we lost a bunch of really big players, like graduating, going to college. So how are we going to replace them? And so, we know we got to like work harder. So yeah, the workouts off season have definitely been a little bit more difficult than last year's, but yeah, it's like a team effort. We're trying to get back there, and we know we can, but we know it's obviously going to take a lot of hard work to do that, and probably more hard work than it did last year, considering the guys that we lost. So, we're definitely ready for the challenge, and we're excited for this next season. We think we can do it again for sure.
Yeah, definitely doing it again for sure would be amazing after you win your first one. Do you have like the same opponents for non-conference or conference, or do you have like different opponents for non-conference this year?
Yeah, we got the exact same schedules we did last year. I was a little bit disappointed because I was pretty excited to go out and play some new teams, but it's pretty much the exact same schedule that we had last year. It's just the home and away games are flipped. So a little bit disappointing, but given the schedule, I feel like we can definitely easily make the playoffs again and definitely do well in them.
Yeah, there you go. You know what? 9 games regular season, 5 games playoffs. You breeze through all those, you get another state title, and that'll be even more history for your school that has made it to the state championship so many times, but loses out on the first place trophy and always getting second place. And now you get the first place trophy, and maybe you could do it again.
Well, yeah, now, those teams are going to play us harder now because, reigning state champs, that's definitely a big target on your back. So, again, excited for the challenge. And again, I totally think that we got the squad. We can go back and we can do it again for sure.
Yeah, there you go. You know what? Doing it again is going to be amazing. And you know what? I hopefully this season you're able to do it again. Fight through that adversity. Be that bench warmer. Be that hype man.
Oh yeah, and again, like hoping to not be a bench warmer next year. I'm trying to get definitely some more playing time. I've tried to be like more of a leader, like kind of in the weight room. Now, like obviously it's not like to the level of like some of these seniors, but I've definitely tried to like as some of these incoming sophomores, current day freshmen, rising sophomores have come in. I've tried to like kind of be a little bit of a leader to them, and I've just like worked hard. We've had some guys transfer out and like quit that were in front of me, so I'm hoping to use that and try and take advantage of it. But again, that's like a big like personal goal for me is I'm trying to like get in and have a lot more of a role in this team. Like the goal is to not be like a crazy bench warmer, but hey, if that is what it is, I'll totally be the hype man for sure. Like that was definitely kind of a role me and my buddy Frankie had last year. We were kind of hyping everybody up on the sidelines and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, if that's the role that I gotta have, that's fine by me. But the goal is to be out there on Friday night.
There you go. Yeah, always being out there Friday night, and you always mention you're being a young leader. I think that definitely makes an impact. Yeah, being a leader makes an impact on a team, and especially when you're young, because then you're going to gain more and more experience all the way up until your senior year, and hopefully you can definitely get some more playing time.
Senior year for sure. I'm gonna get on that field. Absolutely.
You'll get on that field and you're going to bring home another state championship home, right?
Yes, sir. 3-peat is happening.
3-peat is happening. I like the idea. I like it. So that's going to be wrapping up episode number 13 on Tyler 444 Sports. I am Tyler along with Grant Pittman, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody. Wave bye to everybody.
Appreciate it.